On the news tonight, ASUP threatens industrial action over new scheme of service. Plus, President Bola Tinubu orders reduction in prices of fertilizers as FUNAP takes steps to address shortage of farm produce. Good evening and welcome to NTA Jabode News at 7, coming to you live from your heritage station. I am Olawumi Adeniji, and thanks for joining us. Now the news in details. The Non-Academic Staff Union and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities have temporarily shelved their planned industrial action following a meeting with the Minister of Education. A statement by the Director of Press of the Ministry indicates that the Minister acknowledged their concerns and assures them that withheld salaries have been forwarded to the highest level of government for necessary action. While the union leaders expressed disappointment on certain issues, they are also quick to appreciate the minister's gesture as both parties remain committed and promise to continue with dialogue as an avenue to resolve issues. In the meantime, the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics has issued a 15-day ultimatum to proprietors of all public polytechnics to suspend implementation of the new scheme of service for polytechnics introduced by the National Board for Technical Education. President of the union, Shama Panja, while briefing newsmen after the union's NEC meeting in Abuja, says the scheme further entrenched discrimination against polytechnics. Joseph Otson reports.
For about 6 years, major actors in the polytechnic education and the National Board for Technical Education had engagements to develop a new scheme of service for Nigerian polytechnics.
Between the union,
a move aimed at improving technical training in the country, but the staff union is questioning the document released as new scheme of service for polytechnics, saying many items are deviation from the one prepared by stakeholders.
You have to spend about 24 years before you can become a chief lecturer instead of 18 years. Now, it did not stop at that. They have increased the number of years at the upper level, that you must spend up to 4 years at the level before you are promoted. So if, at those two levels, they added 1 year.
The union says the national skills qualification as mandatory condition for academic staff career growth has no meaningful contribution to the delivery of contents offered in polytechnics, and therefore not an improvement in standard.
They have increased the level for registrars, deputy bursars to 15. These levels are level reserved for only chief lecturers. So the chief lecturer is at the highest rank. They used to be on 14. They are moving them to the same level with the chief lecturer, 9 or equivalent of 15, which is unacceptable.
Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics is issuing a 15-day ultimatum for the suspension of implementation of the scheme and amendments made before 8th of July 2024 to avoid possible industrial action. In Abuja, Joseph Otson, NTA News.
Education. To gain a unique and enriched experience that combines learning, creativity, and fun, proprietor and pupils of Treasure Land Elementary Primary School embarked on an excursion trip to the Nigerian Television Authority, Ijebu-Ode. Anthony Gadonu, Asmo.
Elementary School GRA Ijebu-Ode, who came in 2 batches for the 2 days exercise, displayed to the public their educational prowess and assimilation of what was being taught in school, especially the new national anthem.
Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. It be about to honor and this way counts as gain. To honor to our children, ever now without stay.
Shortly after the arrival and received, the pupils were taken round some departments and offices with explanations on how each department operates. Other places touched include the control room, the studio, the newsroom, the editing suite and transmitter room.
Every news that you watch on TV or you listen to on radio is produced by staffs of news departments.
Control room is a place, is a technical room where we control and direct news and program.
The work of an editor is to correct mistake. Put some spicy. You have pencil, you have viral.
Yes.
If you are using pencil and you make mistake, what we use to correct it? Eraser. Then you are editing it.
The children who expressed satisfaction with the professional way and manner at which staffs of NTA Ijebu-Ode attended to them promised to come back another time for same purpose.
The full meaning of NTA, Nigeria Television Authority. I learned that when in the editing room, the editors correct some mistakes and rushes in cameraman. There are 3 tiers in NTA. We have the zonal zone, community zone, and the state zone.
The pupils at the end of the 2 days visit to NTA Ijebu-Ode appreciated the school proprietor and their parents for the opportunity, with excitement and gladness being their first time of visiting a television house as well as having a change of environment. The children conducted themselves in an orderly manner throughout the visit.
We want kids to be able to think out of the box. It's not just boxing them in the school, but for them to be able to know what they want to be in the future, even right from their early stage.
Pupils opportunity to exploit themselves and able to build self-confidence in themselves.
In Ijebu-Ode, Anthony Gandonu, NTA News.
Similarly, it was the turn of the Light of God Nursery and Primary School to expose their students to the practical aspects in the broadcasting industry in order to inspire their career choices. Anthony Gandoni reports that the trip was a worthwhile experience for both students and teachers.
Accompanied by 3 of their teachers, pupils of the Light of God Nursery and Primary School were in NTA Ijebu-Ode for educational trip. Received by staffs of NTA Ijebu-Ode Administrative Department, the pupils were taken to different departments in the station shortly after briefing them about all they need to know about NTA Ijebu-Ode. During the tour of departments, staffs who attended to them explained functions of each of the equipment and how they are operated to achieve seamless transmission operation to the public.
Here, camera will help us to take video. Camera will do what?
Help us to take video.
One microphone will help us to do what? Take audio.
So here I based on audio and video. I correct mistake. Hello. This is the editing room where I modify things. I correct mistake.
The visit also afforded the pupils the opportunity to ask questions and as well receive appropriate answers. At the end of the tour, the children expressed their feelings about the excursion.
I saw the cameras, the air condition, and the monitor. We have program department, marketing department, administrative department, engineering department, news department, marketing department.
On the benefit of the visit, a teacher, Mrs. Oluwadamilola Martins, responded this way.
Coming outside, we are adding more knowledge to what they are being taught in the class. So, to the educational development, it enlightens the pupils. It makes them to know more of what is happening in our society.
The children were then led back to their buses and have since returned back to their school. In Ijebu-Ode, Anthony Gandonu, NTA News.
You are still watching NTA Jebode News. The news continues after this break.
Your heritage station.
You are welcome back. President Bola Tinubu has directed continued discussions with fertilizer producers on the need to reduce prices of the farming inputs to enable farmers improve their yield. Minister of Agriculture and Security, Abubakar Yari, said the recapitalization of the Bank of Agriculture is underway with a view to addressing financial challenges associated with farming. The minister was speaking as he hosted the Nigerian Society of Engineers in Abuja. Musa Baba Aliyu reports.
Access to farming inputs, especially fertilizer, remains a major challenge for farmers this year. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, says government is aware of the challenge and efforts are underway to address it. The minister, while engaging with members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, says heavy-duty equipment will be provided, just as government is addressing financial constraints affecting smallholder farmers through the Bank of Agriculture.
Bank of Agriculture and the Nigerian Agricultural Insurance Corporation, under the directive of the National Council of Privatization, is undergoing restructuring and recapitalization. So very soon a new Bank of Agriculture will emerge. And that way you have the smallholder farmer have access to capital, and then de-risking agriculture by the National Agricultural Insurance Corporation.
The leadership of the Society of Engineers pledged to provide its expertise to assist the ministry in addressing food security challenges in the country. This will include mechanization, irrigation, and other technical know-how.
We plan to establish demonstration farms and engineering villages across the 6 geopolitical zones, enabling our engineers to apply their expertise in mechanized farming, irrigation systems, and sustainable agricultural practices. These hubs will not only centralize cutting-edge equipment for optimal resource use, but also serve as innovation incubators where new agricultural technologies can be developed and tested.
The minister is therefore invited to be a guest speaker at the forthcoming annual meeting of the engineers. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the shortage of fresh tomatoes and exorbitant prices of the available ones have continued to cause distress among consumers, leading many housewives to devise alternative means to meet their cooking needs. In an effort to address the challenges, the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, is cultivating over 2 hectares of tomatoes to meet market needs. Yemi Dalemo tells us more.
Investigations revealed that the shortage and high cost of tomatoes being experienced in Nigeria is due to the high incidences of pest and disease infestations such as tomato Ebola or tomato leaf miner. A visit to markets in Abeokuta reveals that the prices of tomatoes and pepper are high, leaving consumers with alternatives such as tomato paste and improvising the use of cucumbers and watermelons to meet their cooking needs. The immediate economic impact of this shortage is being felt nationwide, with many advocating for a long-term solution to ensure steady supply of tomatoes and stabilize prices.
The plastic is 500, 1,000 naira, but before it's 200, 500.
The best way to cook, honestly, is that we have to declare emergency in farming. Encouraging individuals to go into farming at the back of your house, beside your house, plant something.
In an effort to address the current tomato shortage and rising prices, the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, is cultivating over 2 hectares of tomatoes. The seedlings were initially cultivated in 600 trays, each holding 105 seedlings. The farm practical year students have now successfully transplanted more than 60,000 tomato seedlings into the farm.
We look at it that since we have the technical know-how and we also have a body water here, there is a dam behind us here, that we should harness the opportunity using drip irrigation to be able to plant tomato during the scarcity period. That's the window between April, May, June and July every year. Just like you saw on the other hand, that's using of mulching to control weed, to also control some disease and pests in tomato management.
The university says with more collaborative efforts, plans are on to expand the project to include pepper cultivation and introduce Cobra and Platinum tomato seed varieties in a significant step towards stabilizing the local tomato market and providing a model for addressing similar agricultural challenges in the future. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalimo, NTA News.
2 dismissed soldiers have been apprehended and paraded by the Lagos State Police Command for car snatching. The suspects were paraded along with a driver who stole his employer's car on the day he was employed. State Police spokesman Benjamin Hundeyin used the occasion to advise vehicle owners to do background checks before engaging drivers.
These middle-aged men, Abdullahi Muhammad and Olariwaju Sikirulai, are ex-soldiers who were dismissed from the army in 2014 and 2017 respectively. They are alleged to be part of a 4-member robbery gang who specialized in snatching vehicles from owners at gunpoint. One of the suspects, Abdullahi Muhammad, was tracked down by the police while driving a stolen Lexus vehicle.
I didn't know him when he's military, but I know him when he's dismissed. So we are doing, I'm a driver, we meet together in the same park.
Which park is that?
Yes, Ijora Underbridge.
After we see somebody park, then after he wind down, then from there we drag him out. Then we drive on.
In army uniform, right?
No, man.
How many of you?
No, we have the 3 of us.
Also paraded was one Amos Daniel, who confessed to stealing his employer's vehicle on his first day at work, with the intent of using it for commercial purposes to raise money to settle piling debts.
The first day I was employed, I took the car I stole the car and take it to my pastor and tell my pastor, this is what God has done for me.
The Lagos State Police spokesperson Benjamin Hundeyin therefore advised car owners to do due diligence before engaging drivers.
For those who employ drivers and other domestic staff, please do due diligence. You can take them to the criminal crime CCR, Central Criminal Registry, at the First Criminal Investigation Department. You can also go to the forensic unit just to make sure you do due diligence and do the proper thing, get guarantors and know where they live before you employ them.
The Lagos State Police Command encourages residents to always be vigilant and also work with the police to rid the state of criminal elements. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakuya, NTA News.
On that note, we end today's news. From me, it is good night.